Hi, welcome to another Our Little Corner of the World.
Just a little corner.
Well, yeah, it's just a little. We have a.
But it's our little corner.
It is. It's a crazy, chaotic little corner, though.
It's a fun little corner.
It's a clean corner.
I don't know. My corner's
It's
kind of
clutter-free.
dirty.
Clutter-free.
Exactly, it's clutter-free.
There you go.
Sorry about the time in between our little corner shows, but it just is what it is because it's so community-based. I'm at the mercy of getting everybody together in the community to be able to make it happen. So.
And the community seems very busy these days.
They are. Tony and I and Jayme are doing a play. By the way, Gallery Theater, Main Street, a Hosky bedroom farce. Already a hilarious comedy and it's got one heck of a cast.
He was trying to get that one.
I had a hairball, wasn't coming out.
Dude, you know, I don't want to know how that happened.
No. We got a good show for you. We got some great topics. We got some fun stuff. We got some serious issues to talk about.
He got ready to say that.
I know.
We got a breakaway.
Bad fast.
Local author and blogger Deborah Tayloe has sent us gardening tips, so we will be segueing into that. I also have a video clip taken of a brand new band that would just kind of lit me on fire when I saw them. They're called Twins and Friends, and I've
You
got.
haven't told me about that.
Oh well, I'll tell you during the
If they
show.
lit you on fire, why would you want to promote them? Wouldn't you want to
No.
press charges?
I like to be fed on
Somebody
fire.
was sitting beside him with a fire extinguisher.
It was the sparkly that set me off. I can't help myself. Anyway,
Glad you're
and
sitting beside.
we got a product review. Girl, Jamie's product review of the week. Super
Girl,
donkey.
let me tell you.
Dankesuper.
Very good. He's
Dank.
practiced
It could be
all
dank.
week.
It could be
Dank.
dank.
It could be
Dank,
donka.
Ding dong, dank, dong, dank, ding, dank, dong. See
Well,
what
yeah.
happens?
Such hip terms we use.
Oh, you haven't even seen nothing yet, Tony.
You ain't seen nothing yet. All right, so that's it. Thanks for tuning in. We'll be back again. Oh, I'm sorry. We just started the show.
Yeah.
All right, so what's our
he's
first
trying-
topic?
See you later.
Wow.
All right, topic. Let's call up topic girl.
Yeah.
Topic girl.
Ching,
You gotta
ching,
wear a
ching,
cape.
ching, ching, ching.
Here I am with some topics. In no particular order.
No.
So, y'all know what's going on with Russia
What?
stuff.
Mm.
There's some stuff
Lot of
going
stuff.
down.
And by the way, when we talk about Russia, we're talking about the government, not the people. I feel for the Russian people, just as I feel for the Ukrainian people.
Well, I do. I feel for the people of both sides because here you are. You have this dictator. You might as well say this leftover. He's a Cold War relic.
Oh, by the way, he's spelling it Dicktater.
What he said. Okay. Anyway, so as I was saying,
He's a dictator.
Putin, a leftover Cold War relic, a former KGB agent who is now running the government of Russia, who has got his strings being pulled by the Russian oligarchs.
Yes.
Remember
Who are
those big
losing
words?
their yachts.
Yes.
I love it. A $650 million yacht. Bigger than the town of Murfreesboro. It's weird, right?
I know, weird. But it's cheap in Russia because in America that would probably cost you $2 billion. So anyway, you got this crazy leftover Cold War relic. So a lot of things happened in the Soviet Union since the end of the Cold War. Ever since the Soviet Union failed, now you've got Russia who has not really found its place in the world. So now you've got Putin who's in power, who's decided, you know what? I like the way things were before the 90s. And it seems like he's trying to pull everybody back into one big group, and he's losing ground every day.
Well, this is
Not
let
the
me ask
topic,
you this. This is going to be older news by the time
Well,
it
it
comes to y'all.
It'll be
But
in a day or two.
It was, when we were enforcing sanctions, right?
Mhm.
Right.
Okay.
Of course, the United States
They
forces sanctions. That's what they do every time.
Suspended internet services in Russia. And so I wondered, was that a good or a bad thing? Because they're already
It was a bad thing.
sheltered nation, so now there's no chance
Well,
of getting the truth to the people for them to know what their leader is actually doing.
In fact, it's not only that. I understand either there are companies here in America are posing or they're genuinely concerned.
Mm-hmm.
But whatever the reason, not for the citizens not to get Disney, not to have internet, not to be able to get a burger at a certain restaurant.
Right.
You're not punishing Putin. You're not punishing the monsters.
Right.
Well, I think what they are hoping
to cause a revolution.
Yeah, well, that's what they're doing. By doing these sanctions, imposing sanctions, they're hoping that they're going to generate an uproar of the people that says, okay, look, take back your government, dispose of this tyrant, take him out of power, whatever means necessary. Now, we're not going to get into that because that takes us down a rabbit hole.
Right.
But the thing is if you can find a way to...
I do agree with Hannity, though. He said it right.
To renew the leadership. Because Russia has had some better leadership since the fall of the Soviet Union.
Yeah, but I don't think there are people that are going to rise up.
Well, that's the problem because you got too many in the military chain of command that they have pledged their allegiance pretty much to Vladimir Putin and not to the country of Russia and its people.
Right.
So that's the problem.
Well, you know, I'm totally against them blocking the internet service for the citizens because whether it causes a revolution or they don't, they can't really fight the Russian government.
No.
But it could cause a chain uproar where somebody takes out Putin. But they're not going to know the truth of why. I mean, heck, these Russian soldiers don't even know why they're there.
Right.
And when they find out, like the 3 soldiers that were confronted by an older couple, the looks on their faces were like, these aren't Nazis.
True.
Right.
I mean,
and of course the Russian military.
Going on propaganda.
The Russian military has found that the Ukrainian people are not so easy to take because they are losing ground in places. Mm-hmm. The Ukrainian government has actually seized and taken back control of certain areas. So Ukraine has proven that they have that will. The Ukrainian government has actually encouraged citizens to take up arms, fight for your country. Something that, honestly, I'm afraid that if it happened in America, the United States government wouldn't encourage. But, you know, we all know as American citizens,
do that anyway.
American citizens are the most strong-willed people on the planet, and we're going to say, you know, are you going to invade our country? Oh, no. You're going to be confronted, and we're going to fight you until we can't fight anymore.
Did you see that poll? I mean, it was an extensive poll of Democrats, Republicans, Independents. They didn't label. They weren't trying to pick a genre to win the poll.
Well, it's back time.
They asked, if America was invaded, like Russia invaded the Ukraine, would you stay and fight? And it came down to simply the Democrats said no. The Patriots and the Conservatives said, hell yeah.
Of course they would.
So there you go. If you're not going to fight for your country, shut the hell up about it.
Exactly. I mean, why? I don't understand what it is with certain people. No matter what country you live in, your patriotism is going to run deep. They encountered this even in Iraq, that the Iraqi people, even though the United States was there to, say, liberate because Saddam Hussein was a really heinous tyrant of a dictator, but still, the people of Iraq didn't want the United States government there. I wouldn't want, even if our government was messed up, I wouldn't want...
Our government is messed up.
Sure.
Well, I mean, yes, our government is, but I'm saying I don't want another country coming in with their army saying, oh, we're going to free you guys. No, we want to take care of that ourselves.
It's like one mom telling another mom how to parent.
Right.
But the only thing that we have going for us, we have guns. These other countries, the citizens gave up their means to defend themselves.
And the United States would never do that.
No.
I tell you, landing a pitchfork the right way is going to do some harm.
All right, if you can nail me with a pitchfork at 100 yards before I nail you with my IR, we'll talk.
There we go.
I'm just saying, there's more than one way to defend yourself.
There is. Stab someone in the ass with a pitchfork.
Stay tuned.
Oh, before we run out of time, I figured out why Putin is the way he is.
Okay.
A lot of things always fall back on how you were treated as a child. Like the way I am, it was because of my childhood. Well,
So
if you had a
Putin was
name
an
like
abused child.
Putin, you'd be made fun of all the time.
True.
Was that you, Putin? Woo, doggy!
How did I not see that?
How did we know? They knew. We knew.
Yeah.
I think he had a head injury at some point.
Maybe. But he does look darn good shirtless on a horse.
Actually, I'm going to say this. In all seriousness, it's because he's institutionalized. Putin was a KGB Cold War relic. Okay, that's what he is. He was a KGB officer. So
no countdown.
that's
Need that
why he's
louder,
like
girl.
he is.
It needs to broadcast across the
And
internet.
anybody-
I want YouTubers to hear it.
And anybody in the Russian government should know that anybody from that era should not be in control. So that's all I'm gonna say. We're out of time.
All right, we'll be right back.
Yep.
Shopping local at Wholesale Cash and Carry on Memorial Drive in Ahoskie does many good things. It saves you time and gas. Shopping at Wholesale Cash and Carry also helps Small Business America. It helps your community by keeping businesses open and not the eyesore of an empty store. Getting your bulk foods, event supplies, fundraising supplies, or disposable serving products at wholesale means a lot to the family and the community that depend on them for convenience and needs. From school snacks to foods and everything in between, shop at Wholesale Cash and Carry on Memorial Drive in Ahoskie. All right, so we're back.
Yes, we are.
Don't forget, let's do a What's Happening Entertainment.com, our online magazine update. All across the board, people, all the pages are updated. Music scene is updated. We got the new music scene video all over the place. Let it take you to rumble.com where our video shows are. Give us a rumble, give us a subscribe. We appreciate it.
Be sure you tune in to everything.
Topic girl.
That's me.
That's me.
John.
Ding.
All right, so
You sing very well too, don't you?
oh,
Yeah, she does. She has singing ability.
abilities. That's right. I'm going to skip number 2 for now because, but this was interesting to me.
Okay.
Since I'm topic girl, I get to pick and choose.
You're a topic girl.
That's right.
So, a woman whose rape DNA from 2016 led to her arrest in 2021 for a burglary is going to sue the city for charging her based on DNA they took from a sexual assault back in 2016.
Well,
So,
a couple of things here. All right, well, morally right or wrong, I got to commend the investigator for being very intuitive.
Mm-hmm.
Because if there was a crime and he was able to match that DNA from that, then, and he had that in a database, he was really, that's what you need in an investigator. But at the same time, morally and ethically, I don't know, it's a fine line there. What do you think?
Well, you know, I fall under the idea of, I don't like our criminal justice system. It doesn't work.
Well,
I don't understand why there's lawyers fighting against each other to prove someone innocent and guilty. They're either innocent or they're guilty.
True.
I mean, just get a committee together, go through the facts, charge them or don't charge them.
I thought that, well, the thing is that was basically what's supposed to be a jury.
But that's not. You do not, when you pick a jury, you're picking people that have no training, you have no idea what their agendas are. How would you possibly find a jury of your peers? If I was on trial, you'd have to find what? So a white guy in their 50s who's a business owner, politically a patriot. I mean, shall I go on? You know, and then if I don't find those people and I'm sitting, or there's a liberal that knows that I'm not a liberal, oh, I'm guilty. Or maybe there's a black person that hates me because I'm white.
Yeah.
Whatever, or maybe there's a man-hater, feminist up there. These are not a jury of my peers.
No, they're not, because they've got different ideologies. And the thing about a jury is, here's the thing. So when you serve on jury duty, you're paid what? $12 a day, I think, in the state of North Carolina.
I got my 2-day check. I spent it all in one place.
it's so easy to do.
True. So these people are like, okay, he seems guilty. Let's just get this over with. I mean, if you got like-minded people and be like, you know what, we've heard this, and it could be that one piece of evidence that where the guy really didn't do it, but they're like, you know what, we're only getting paid $12 a day. We don't want to be here. Fine.
Right.
He's guilty. Case closed. You might be sending this guy to prison for life. You might be sending him to death row. You never know. Or you could be, you know what? No, I don't think he's guilty. When the guy really did it, some heinous crime, and he was like criminally insane but borderline genius and got away with it.
And what about loopholes? Why should there be a legal loophole if you murdered somebody?
There shouldn't be.
I mean,
there shouldn't be.
or you're found guilty because your lawyer talks
No.
better than that lawyer.
Just give them an opportunity to sue the city for that, and then the city can put a little money in their canteen. Done.
So to answer your question,
It shouldn't negate the.
she's guilty, she's guilty.
True, well, that is true. She's guilty. She's guilty. The thing is her turning around and suing doesn't disprove the fact that she's guilty of the crime
Right.
of what she did. So that, in other words, she's trying to figure out, well, do two wrongs make a right.
Well, what is your take on it?
I mean, I can understand both points, but if you know your DNA is in a system, don't do anything bad to get caught.
Look, I don't know San Francisco's laws, but it would seem to me that if your DNA is entered into the system based on you being the victim, it's probably private. But there must have been more to trigger this guy. There had to
Right.
be something, there has to be
Thought.
a connection.
Well, if they found fingerprints at the scene,
True.
and they ran, that's how they did it.
True.
They ran fingerprints in the database and got a hit from her
Oh, well then,
2016
I can carry this a little further.
domestic
well,
violence.
she even raped.
So here we go. We've got these, we got these organizations out there now, like Ancestry.com.
Mhm.
Okay, where you can go back and you can trace your lineage.
Oh, by the way, they say I'm not from Earth.
Well, we figured that. Yeah.
Well, it's verified now.
So anyway,
Always good to have a certificate.
there have been like reports, maybe people talking that the government can take and use this DNA collected against, you in a case.
But they use it now to catch criminals.
Yeah, so my whole point is this. All right, when do we go back to how the Constitution lays out criminal defense? I mean, honestly, even if you have committed a crime, by our Constitution that we hold so dear, okay, especially, that First and Second Amendment, and so many more, how do you approach when you have those, even as a criminal, you've committed a crime, you still have constitutional rights. I know you want the criminal to be caught and prosecuted, but you still have to consider that if we're going to hold sacred our parts of the Constitution as free people who are law-abiding, that we have to honor that as criminals have rights
Yeah,
too.
but I'm a constitutionalist, but when part of the Constitution it was founded around a criminal justice system that was copied from another country. It didn't work there. Why would it work here?
Well, the thing is do we want our government or anybody who has the authority, which thank God it takes so much to change the Constitution, because if the Constitution was easily changed, you wouldn't have a Second Amendment, you wouldn't have a First Amendment.
Things would have been changed
Things would have
100,000
been,
times.
exactly.
It would. That's a double-edged sword.
I mean, the things that have been changed were for the better were like, okay, the 14th Amendment, of course, that was all the enslavement.
Right.
The 14th Amendment was absolutely necessary. And then, of course, you had that ended Prohibition. They put a constitutional amendment in there to start Prohibition, and then they had to put one to end it, which was crazy to start with. I mean, you think about the way these things were laid out. I know some people say, oh, it's a living document. I don't know. I feel like that it's kind of concrete, and what it says...
It has to be concrete.
Like the Ten Commandments?
Too many crazy people have their hands in it.
Yeah.
Yes, the Ten Commandments. Actually, the Constitution probably would have been better in a simplified form.
It would have.
Like the Ten Commandments.
Agreed.
Thou shalt not kill.
Right.
True.
End of story.
True.
Right, no asterisk, no exceptions.
You know, it's like a will. You get a will done with a lawyer who, by the way, I think ruined the country, okay? And now they keep ruining the country so they keep themselves in power. What was I saying?
Okay.
You have
He might have
sidebars
saw-
like a girl does. In
No,
a
he saw a
conversation.
shiny object somewhere. That's
Squirrel.
Yeah, that's right.
I got a call from home. All right, so anyway, let's do a segue to one of our segments.
Okay.
Here's our friend Deborah Tayloe. If you want to check her out, she's online. She's on Minds.com. She's on Facebook. She's on the T Word, which I'm never on. She's a local published author, and she's a good friend. And so here is her gardening tips.
Hello, and welcome to News from the Homestead by DIY Home and Garden. I'm Deborah Tayloe, coming to you from Bertie County, North Carolina. I am a gardening and home blogger, independent author, and the publisher of the DIY website DIY Home and Garden. Here on News from the Homestead, we tackle one national or global issue and talk about how it impacts those of us stuck in the middle of the fallout here in our little corners. Recently, it seems like you can't go anywhere without seeing the horror of the Russian war waged on the innocent people of Ukraine. Our hearts go out to those murdered and impacted by the Stalinist, communist, evil Vladimir Putin. And while the mainstream media certainly and rightfully so focuses on the immediate human toll of this illegal war, a bigger picture is coming into focus that impacts everyone in the world: a potential food shortage. You see, Ukraine serves as the breadbasket for Europe and beyond. Even countries as far away as Lebanon and Kenya, the Kenyans rely on their wheat production to make bread. And many countries purchase Ukrainian sunflower and corn harvests to extract the oils for cooking and for sustenance for their citizens. And now that fertile land is ravaged. Women and children are fleeing their country by the millions. The men are conscripted and stay behind to serve in the Ukrainian military. And this all means these Ukrainian farmers are not going to plant crops this year. Besides that, Russia is a large producer of wheat. And even more scary, they produce about a third of the world's supply of fertilizer. Bloomberg recently reported that Russia banned the sale of over 200 products to NATO countries that have sanctioned them. These banned exports to the United States include minerals, fertilizer, wheat, soybeans, corn, and the raw materials needed to make steel and iron, which are needed by a major ag equipment manufacturer here in North America. Who then will they sell to? They need to sell their products in order to keep funding this illegal war against Ukraine. Well, they have buddies in China, and the CCP will gladly purchase these commodities. But will China sell them and share them with the world, or will they hoard them is the question. Just think back to March of 2020. Do you remember how China sucked up all the PPE from around the world that the doctors everywhere needed in those first uncertain days of a global pandemic? Brownfield Ag News recently issued this warning to the world. Over the past several months, China has quietly amassed a giant cache of over 70% of the world's supply of corn. Furthermore, they estimate that China has stashed away about 50% of the global supply of wheat. So the bottom line is this: the broken food supply chain that we have grown used to over the past 2 years does not appear to be getting better, at least not anytime soon. Some food shortages that we could see sooner than later are cooking oils. A sunflower oil from Ukraine is a key ingredient. And just think of all the foods that contain vegetable oils, from baked goods to your favorite chips or tortillas. Food manufacturers will certainly scramble to adjust how they make their foods. But the longer-term concerns include the needs that farmers are expressing right now for potash and fertilizer to grow the crops that we need to feed our country. They need this input in the next few weeks. The lack of soil input now impacts the harvest quantity and quality later this year when they harvest. So you might ask yourself, How can I cushion my family from this impact in my corner of the world? And that's a great question. I have long advocated for people to work together in food cooperatives. Find a friend or a reliable neighbor and work together. Right now, start filling your freezers and pantries. For example, my husband is an avid hunter. In the past, he has traded the venison he harvests with a buddy who catches wild-caught fish. Likewise, you can plant a community garden. They say that many hands make light work, and so find a few families nearby who share your concerns. They might be willing to roll up their sleeves too and help you grow fresh vegetables and herbs that you can eat fresh, dehydrate, freeze, or can. When you work together, you'll find the upkeep easier, especially if this is your first try at growing a garden, or if you don't live in a home that has a large sunny spot for growing one at your house. Of course, if you have gardening experience and a spot to install one, you can also go it alone, or you can even coordinate with friends, each growing different food plants that you can harvest among you once you harvest. The less you rely on the grocery store, the more self-sufficient you can be. It only makes you better able to withstand any food shortages that might lie ahead. And if you want to learn more about community gardening, check out my article on that topic on DIYHomegarden.blog. I share a comprehensive guide that gives you all the rules of the road and how to set expectations with those you invite to join you on your journey to self-sufficiency. You can find a link to that community gardening article in the show notes. Please take a moment to subscribe to DIY Home and Garden for advice on survival gardening, food preservation, and many other useful topics. Again, it's DIYHomegarden.blog. I thank you for taking time to learn about how the looming food production crisis might impact your little corner. I'll see you next time. Tim and friends, it's back to you.
Southern Bank on Main Street in Murfreesboro is the bank whose interest is in you. We are the home of Southern Hospitality Gold Checking with tons of benefits for you, our customer. Pay your bills or deposit checks quickly and efficiently through our mobile banking app. Our Southern Business Pro offers custom small business solutions for your business without all the headaches. Need a loan or a mortgage? Let the friendly and helpful staff at Southern Bank of Murfreesboro help you navigate the process properly and carefully. No matter what your banking or finance needs may be, Southern Bank on Main Street in Murfreesboro is your only choice.
Oh, no, I'm
Morning
definitely not
Constitution.
constipated.
So anyway,
Affirmation.
hey, you know what?
Affirmation, constipation,
Yeah, we're back anyway.
Oh, G-Bone.
Regular thing. There we go.
Oh, the bone.
So catchy.
It is.
It is, Captain.
Topic girl, where are you?
She's right here. She's got
There
it.
she is.
She's on point.
Is. So here's our Hollywood corner
Oh,
for
boy.
the evening.
Mm-hmm. Because we do love Hollywood here.
I was
No.
having a good day.
We don't care for it, and the stories are not so much so that they need their own amount of time for one full segment.
Right.
So we got to push some together because
Why
by the
not
time we
consolidate them?
start talking about one, you're going to get bored and want to move to the other one anyway.
Oh, by the way, Ron Perlman.
What did he do? The
Yeah,
actor?
did I miss something?
No, he came out, dishing America, dissing us, calling us white supremacists, all that shit. All has to do with the Hollywood insanity that they seem to, maybe it's something in the water.
I don't know.
But, they're like, oh yeah, shut down the pipelines, environmental. Yeah, okay, so you make $100 million a year. What about us?
Well,
Right.
that tells you everything you need to know right there.
Nah.
You cannot relate.
Oh,
And
well.
Arnold Schwarzenegger?
I'll never watch Hellboy again.
No.
Oh,
No.
well.
Or Sons of Anarchy.
True.
Oh, no. He gets killed in it. I'll watch it over and over again. Sort of like the Joker scene killing Robert De Niro. Oh, throw me to the bone. Oh, throw me to the T-bone. Okay, I'm sorry. What was the
All
topic?
right. So,
She's got the topic.
Alec Baldwin.
As you can tell, ladies and gentlemen, we have
got some on me.
a less than desirable
Ding!
How can we put this nicely? We have
It's Alec Baldwin. You don't have to. He would
Yeah.
punch you over a parking space.
Right. We don't like him.
No.
We
Well-
don't like him. So carry on.
The lawsuits that are against him and everyone associated with the shooting that occurred on the set of Rust, he says, why sue people if you're not going to get money?
Can I comment on this?
No.
Quickly.
Why?
Oh no, I was just wondering if it would stop you.
It did.
Do it.
But for just a second.
He likes to go first.
Well, so if you are driving a motor vehicle and you hit a person and you kill that person and you were at fault, their family is entitled to sue you. So why should it not be the same that if that person was killed on the set of a movie that you had some, I'm assuming that Alec Baldwin was either producer, executive producer, other than an actor, he usually is, that you had something to do with, that family is entitled to compensation for what happened on that set. They are entitled, no different than if you took your car and killed somebody, the family's entitled to compensation for the life you took.
Now
That's what I'm going to say.
I see here you in your topic. You know, why sue people if you're not going to get money? That's what you're doing it for.
Yeah, they're going
Not
to get money.
necessarily. Sometimes you have no other way of getting at somebody
Exactly.
than through civil.
Right.
And if you hurt people where it hurts the most, which pocketbook, then you do what you got to do.
Right.
Do I think this family's actually doing it for the money? No. Do I think they deserve it? Yes.
Yes.
Do I think now? I'm going to remove my hatred for Alec Baldwin for a minute. I'm going to put it right there. He's an idiot. Just by oh, I'm so sorry. Oh, wait a minute, no,
And
I
this
did
is
this.
not the
Oh,
hatred.
then I held it this way. Oh, wait a minute, I discovered I'm not guilty, so I'm not sorry. He just kept bouncing around. That's what made him an idiot.
He didn't take any, not that it was all his responsibility or all his fault or anything, but he still pulled the trigger.
True.
So he is accountable on
True.
some level. That's why they call it involuntary manslaughter.
Right. I mean, if you were driving your vehicle and you ran a stop sign, you didn't mean to kill somebody, but you ran out in traffic
Right.
and you T-boned
Right.
somebody.
Oh, T-bone.
T-bone.
We're going to slide T-bone in everywhere we can.
There we go.
Oh, that's
what
weird.
she said.
But
Yeah.
if you
No,
caused
that's
a
what she
fatality,
He said
even
it
though
too.
you weren't at fault, you will be more than likely charged. If you cause a fatality, you will be more than likely charged, at least in the state of North Carolina, with involuntary manslaughter.
Well, let me ask you a
Because
question.
it was your actions that caused that loss of life.
Well, let me ask you a question. I'm not going to ask Tony because he knows the answer and I know the answer. Okay, but you're not gun trained. What's the number one rule of gun?
Know about it.
Don't point it at anyone unless you're going to use it.
Oh, that is number 1, 2.
Yeah.
So, I mean, that's number one. You don't point a gun unless you're going to use it.
True.
Now, yes, he was on a set, but you know what? I'm not aware of any gun owner that does not know how to check to see if there's a
But he's
bullet
been on
trace
enough
in there.
sets. But why would there be a real bullet in there at all?
Well, see, that's the mystery now, isn't it? Did he put
That
it in
is
there?
the
and he's-
$164 million question, is this?
You got those Hollywood people, the thrills of life have to keep getting bigger and bigger because they've already experienced it all, while the rest of us is still waiting for our first cruise.
Well, and it could have been a very innocent mistake, but the way he's handling it
Exactly.
and trying to
Well-
make sure nothing lands on his shoulders, that's foolish. I mean, he's never going to recover from this, even if he's found not guilty. And I can't say that he is, but he played a part in it, and he's not even
True.
manning up
And
to it, and
I'm-
that's what's going to be his demise.
And I will say this, there has to be more people
Ousted.
that were at fault here than just Alec Baldwin, because number one, all right, if you are the armorer on a set of a movie, that is, I believe, is the proper terminology for the person who's in control of the firearms on
You
the
would
set.
know.
I was a unit armorer in the
Okay,
Army for a while.
so you would be the armorer.
Your job is to clean, to check the weapons, make sure everything is
Right.
stored properly, and put away right.
So it is your job to know that, hey, this is blanks, this is live ammunition. All right,
Why would you need live ammunition?
that
You wouldn't
is
at all.
one of the questions on the set. Why do you need live ammunition on the set of a film. Now, I understand under controlled circumstances and documentaries, they have used it, but this is a fiction or a non-fiction, something
Right.
that is not, you don't need live ammunition to do.
Oh, I just had an idea. Think of this, right?
Where an actor should never have access to it.
No, it should just be blanks, no
Right.
live ammunition. But I was reading an article that sort of ties this in about how Hollywood is openly will not hire anybody unless you're of the liberal ideology. I mean, they're openly saying this.
Right.
Okay, so if you have an entire movie crew
Screen
full
Actors
of
Guild.
liberals,
Screen Actors Guild.
where they're
Ding,
angry,
ding, 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 ding.
they got agendas, they may be emotionally triggered. It's not real hard to take a real bullet and put it in a gun and take out the blank because they look the same.
Right.
Well, honestly, you know what? They don't.
Well, if they're in a gun, they do. If you pull out the bullet,
If
look
you,
at it, it's
if you,
different.
the thing is from the rear end of the bullet, they look the same. But if you take a blank cartridge and you take a live cartridge and you put them side by side, they look totally different.
Yeah, but in the gun, you're not
There
going to
should
tell.
have been no cartridges. There should have been nothing in that gun. They should, if he was using it to practice,
True.
that's one thing. But
Good
there
point.
should have been safety checks and everything before
There
it
should-
was put
Yeah.
in his hand.
Here's how uninvolved Hollywood is. Take it from my filmmaking skills, okay? You don't even need a blank. Boom. You just dub in a gunshot, smoke.
Right.
Right.
I can do it on my little $5 editor.
Right.
They're Hollywood.
There you go.
Tim does a mean doorbell.
I do.
Ding dong. We did that one right, didn't we?
Ding dong, the witch is dead. That wicked old witch is dead.
That was
Pelosi's
good.
dead.
He's sitting there singing that, but
No,
I think he was.
Madeline Albright.
Oh,
got
by
I think he was one of the
I thought it was-
monkeys.
Huh?
what?
You were sitting there talking about you were singing "Ding Dong, the Witch is Dead." I thought you were one of the flying monkeys.
I am a flying butt monkey.
Yeah.
Don't you forget
No,
it.
okay, now we move on.
Hold on, I gotta say something real quick. Mark Ruffalo, I don't like you. Okay? You may be the Incredible Hulk. I'm the Incredible not Hulk.
But don't
I'll
worry,
wrap
you're
these
not
9-inch
alone.
pythons around you and squeeze you like a pimple.
He's got a big pile of people he doesn't like, so you'll have to.
He's climbing up to the top.
Okay. So these people I can't stand, and
Yeah,
it makes me
now we're
feel
talking.
how dumbed down America is for people who listen to them and follow their advice.
Who are they?
Influencers.
Oh, good God!
Oh, you mean like TikTok influencers and YouTube?
No, we're talking about
influencers?
"Catch Me Outside." How about that?
Oh.
Jeez.
You remember that girl?
Yeah, unfortunately, I remember
Yeah.
that girl.
Who is it?
The one that was on Dr. Phil. She said, "Catch me outside." How about
She
that?
was a horrible child, and her mother went on there for help. and
I've never
she
seen
just-
Dr. Phil.
And now she is like a social media influencer that's like rich.
Is that guy? Well, that's what really pisses me
I
off.
know.
You know, those crunching, eat a pickle. Just film yourself eating a pickle, you'll be rich. Put out a good show like we do, and you're not.
Sure.
Well, maybe you should start eating pickles.
You know what? We're going to suck on some pickles during our little corner.
No,
and see
we
if
are
you-
not.
Speak for yourself.
Can I eat
yeah,
fried
I'm
pickles?
speaking for Tony.
All right, you can be the banana
Fried
girl.
pickles.
I want to eat fried pickles with ranch.
Oh my
They're
God.
good.
I'll punch you in the chest.
Oh, I'd like to see that.
Why?
Because it would save a lot of time and resources. That's exactly what's going to happen when you eat a fried pickle covered in ranch.
I eat them all
I'll
the
hit you
time.
in the gut,
I
too.
eat them all the time.
You see how she throws a punch? Look at that. Yes, I got. All right, let's do it. Jayme's on fire. Here she is with her product review from Dankesuper.
You're welcome.
Thank.
Howdy, howdy.
Good.
Welcome to our little corner product review with my itch.
That's
Where-
funny as hell.
We're having a fun one tonight, boys and girls.
What was that?
I don't know, see? Okay, so let me go ahead and just jump right in. This segment's about American-made products. I'm trying to be a better steward of my money, so I'm focusing on purchasing products exclusively made in the USA, and if it's from a small business, that's just a bonus. So tonight, I have chosen CBD products from a company called Dankesuper, based out of Brooklyn, New York. And as you can see, I enjoy their products. And what we're going to do tonight is I have got some co-hosts going to help me, and we've all taken a different product from Dankesuper so we can explain how it's made us feel, and if we thumbs up it or thumbs down it or sideways it. So I got in contact with the owner of Dankesuper, whose name is Daniel, and each time I've ever reached out to him by email, he has responded personally. So I think he's very focused on his business. He stands behind his product 100%, and I feel like it's a very transparent company. But he let me know, outside of glass packaging for this type of product, which is a CBD tincture, everything is made in the US. Some of the fruit puree that's in their gummies or their pâté de fruits is sourced from Europe or Canada, but they try to use American companies as much as possible. Their full spectrum hemp is infused into everything except one product, and that's all grown in the western slope of Colorado. The provider of their Delta 8 THCO products are always based out of the US. So I've been using these products for several months, and they're delightful. Right now I'm getting a little bit of a dry mouth from the one I tried. But I wanted to let you know, I think this is a great company to support. I think they're a newer company, so they're willing to please. And every time I placed an order, either something's on sale or I get something free in my packaging, and that does not hurt my feelings. So I'm gonna let you know what product I've tried tonight. It's the THCO Pâté de Fruit Gummies. And these come in 10 milligrams, and the flavor is apricot. But I took ginger peach, and it's a very delightful taste. It's a little bit bigger of a gummy, but you know, it goes down smooth. So anyways, I took 15 milligrams, so that's 1.5 fruit squares. And it's less, if you ever have experience with CBD gummies, they're usually coated in sugar and very chewy. These are smoother. It is more like a dessert candy, and it's got less sugar on the outside, so it's just it's like an adult gummy bear, I guess would be the best way to call it. But let me see. This is a relatively new cannabinoid that is derived from hemp and not naturally occurring. So the way it makes me feel is very relaxed. I actually started getting into these products when I found out I had perimenopause and was having some problems keeping my hormones under wraps. But these really take those sharp corners and kind of soften it. So I feel very focused, like I could go and work, I can drive, I can do, you know, anything in my daily life, but I feel a little bit lighter and things don't bother me so quickly. So I feel very relaxed but not sleepy. And that's the THCO Pâté de Fruit. They use 4 ingredients in each of their pâté de fruits: apple pectin, fruit puree, sugar, and lemon and lime juice. So you're getting, you know, you don't have any ingredients you can't pronounce or know how to spell, to look them up on Google. So you don't have to worry about that. But I would highly recommend it, especially in the world these days, because it's going down the poop hole and it's just going to get worse till Jesus comes back. So if you can find something that can help you get through the hustle and bustle and the hardships of life, I mean, come on. So I'm going to have my first buddy on here, and that's going to be Timothy the Flanagan. And how appropriate on St. Patrick's Day that we have an Irishman.
That's why I wore green
Hello.
underwear.
So I'm trying to remember what you took.
It was square and it tasted like apricots.
Okay, so we gave Timothy, since he is so experienced in these types of products, we gave him the top one that we had, which is 40 milligrams of Delta 8 and 10 milligrams of CBD. And a lot of these products, when you combine the Delta 8 with the CBD, they're kind of helping each other pull the best out of each other. So they work in sync. So you took yours, what, about an hour ago? How long ago did you take yours?
Yeah, about an hour.
All right. And how long did it take for you to feel it kick in?
I think I got a false positive 11 minutes in, but yeah, about 45 minutes in because I have a high metabolism, so it goes right in really fast. Yes.
Yeah, he does.
Uh-huh.
He's probably doing this the whole time.
Well, yeah, that's all I do anyway.
And so, what would you say? How it made you feel? Was it worth it?
Well, you know, I'm very relaxed, and I actually think that I've been levitating.
Oh, he is shorter than what he's representing right now.
Am I hitting the ground?
Yeah.
All right, never mind then. Maybe it's just me. They are new shoes, about a year ago. Now, can I ask you questions? Now, the man's name is Dan. Is he the Dan in Dank, K-E?
I believe so. I believe so.
Yes, I pointed that out.
Okay, that's our other special guest.
Yeah. He's really messed up by this stuff.
And let me tell you, in a cutest way.
Oh, yeah.
The price points are pretty good. I mean, it's about average for what is out on the market. I will tell you, you can taste the hemp in almost all the products, so that makes me feel good knowing that that ingredient is in there and you're not just getting filler.
Well, you know what won me over with is, number one, they're American-based.
Yes.
Two, they're still American logistical, meaning there's an American answering the phone.
Yes.
The company that I was using here in North Carolina started outsourcing all their phone and ordering and customer service to India. And when I go to call, I'm like, well, I know you're going to fill it on the 16th. I want it. Can you fill it now? Oh, I have to ask President Joe. And I'm like, Joe Biden? Why the hell would you ask him anything? But he didn't say Biden, but that's what kept popping in my head. He repeated it 5 or 6 times. I have to ask President Joe. Like, all right, whatever.
I guess that's his way of trying to appeal to you as a non-American. But regardless, like I said, every time I've contacted this owner by email to inquire about my order status or to ask him questions, he gets back to me.
I am getting hungry though.
Directly. Okay.
What do you got in that bread box?
More gummies. So now we're going to have our other Irish lad on to let you know what it is about the 15 milligrams THCO and 15 milligrams Delta 8 that he likes so much. So without further ado, Dale Harrington.
Oh my God, I love him. He's so sexy. Oh.
See?
Bye.
It's good stuff. So he took his about 2.5 hours ago, yeah? You took yours about 5, so 2.5 hours ago? Hey.
Stop. Tell him to stop. Yes. 5, 2.5.
And so tell me
5
about
o'clock.
how it
7:30,
tastes or
2.5.
how the texture was.
Where is mine?
Yep.
Yep. Have you ever had Annihilator?
No.
Good, because they're nothing like that. They're like, peach orange slice. What are those peach things? Circles.
It's almost like if jelly got real firm in the refrigerator and you took a spoon of it.
Oh,
Yeah.
And what if it got aggressive? You beat it with a spoon?
No.
If it came down to it.
Say that again.
If jelly or jam or fruit preserves got firmed up, like extra firm in the refrigerator, and you took a spoon
Oh,
of
you
it,
mean it was tilting all the other things? All right,
Yeah.
now y'all tighten up.
Yeah. That's
Yeah.
what it exactly tastes
Do
like.
your job,
Feels like in your
mayonnaise.
Anyways, so how does it feel when you know the product's kicked
Barbecue
in?
sauce.
Hey.
Get with it.
Hi.
Oh, hey.
Okay.
That's
So
good.
tell me how the product
Well, I'm
makes
still
you
in
feel
the-
when it kicks in.
Refrigerator.
This is why it's going to take 40 minutes.
Well, here's the thing. What was the question again?
What did you start feeling when the product kicked in, and how long did it take? How long did it take? Was it a quick release?
No. No, it's not a quick release. Alright. Why is this so funny?
Would you say 30 minutes? Would you say an hour? 5
An hour.
minutes?
Well, most of them, excuse me, take about an hour.
Okay.
And then, after that, that's when the party starts.
Alright.
But it's not like a real party.
Right.
I meant like in your head.
Well,
in my head is a party.
Apparently the THCO
Party all
combined
the
with
time,
the
party
Delta
all the
8
time.
is more of a goofy, kind of fun.
Wait, who's you talking about, Tim?
I'm talking about
We
you.
need bourbon.
We need bourbon.
Hey, okay, so that.
You are selling this.
Yeah, I am.
Doing
No, I'm not
exactly-
selling it. I'm gonna take them.
Here are people gonna be buying this stuff right and left after seeing it.
No.
I'm jealous. I want another.
Come.
No, don't. No. So, yep, with that, I take it to relieve pain.
And what pain are you having relieved?
The pain in my ass.
Sorry.
Technically, but the lower back pain from firefighting.
Yes.
Right there.
And what injury are you having pain due to? What type of injury?
Due to what?
What back injury do you have?
My back.
What
Right there.
is your formal diagnosis?
I know this one. S1, S2, posterior anterior, visceral tear, and don't tell me, L3-4, sporadic bulge.
I got a sporadic bulge.
Yeah, C5,
And
1, 2, 3, 4, wait your turn. C5, I have a rotated.
Okay, so
Rotated.
not on these products. What's your pain level on average?
My pain level, not on this. What again? On the average?
On the average, without any intervention of Dankesuper products, what's your pain level on average?
On average,
Yeah.
2.5
Out of a 10.
out of a 10.
When
Because
you-
that's it's not quite a 3, because 3 is starting to get where you're like, man, yeah. But then 2 is just
it's
so-
nagging. It's just
nagging.
a constant naggy pain.
Naggy, dull pain.
Now, on these products,
Right.
what does your pain level go to?
Right now, 0. Watch.
No, don't. We'll get a new injury and then we'll have to.
Check it out.
You're like a ballerina.
Now get it down.
You're like a ballerina.
That's what she said.
You're a ballerina.
Okay. Pretty amazing stuff, huh?
Well, I mean,
I will tell you, I'm the only one in this whole group that has tried the tinctures, which is just full spectrum CBD without any Delta 8 or fun stuff in it.
fun stuff.
And I gotta tell you, my favorite is the
What's that crap?
DSO3, which is for, decompression.
Whoa.
And let me tell you, this little attitude adjustment in this bottle, if things start irritating me, I can just take a little drop in about 20, 30 minutes. I'm pretty darn mellowed out. And it's got delicious flavors. You can actually taste the essential oils that they put in it.
Do you
And
put these in your eyes?
No.
Oh.
No, man, your mouth. Sublingual.
Yep.
Dang, going
That particular one is got orange, ginger, and cinnamon essential oil. And it's 20 milligrams full spectrum CBD, and it's wonderful. I also have tried the DSO2, which is for clarity, and that makes me just kind of sleepy. But still, it's positive benefits. All of these products are positive
But
benefits.
you're clear about being
Yeah.
sleepy.
I've got clarity
Good.
about it. And I will also tell you this. I've been a secretary for 27 years, and in the past year and a half since we've moved to Murfreesboro, I now have an hour and 10-minute commute each way. And I was starting to get very concerned about my hands because they would ache and throb when I got to work. Then I'd have to type with them. Then I'd have to drive home doing this because I'm a 10 and 2 girl on the steering wheel most of the time. Since I've been taking these products, I have not had that ache in my hands. So not only is it good for the mind and the soul, but it's good for the body. So out on a scale of 1 to 2 thumbs, up or down, what would you give Dankesuper? Just
Wait a minute.
Just
You said
thumbs up, thumbs down.
Yeah, but you said on a time out. You said on a scale from 1 to 2 thumbs.
Yes. Would you give it 2 thumbs up, 1 thumbs up, 2 thumbs down?
Wait,
1
okay,
thumbs
but
down?
hold on first, just 1 second. Let me take that in. On a scale from 1 to 2 thumbs. Have you ever?
That again is the THCO with the Delta 8.
Okay, but I have 2 thumbs.
Okay.
Just because.
Okay,
Is
fine.
that the right scale?
Timothy, your turn for thumbs.
On a scale
I already did it.
of 1 to 2 thumbs.
Me? So, Dankesuper at dankesuper.co, and Daniel will answer your emails. He's very friendly. I've never talked to him personally, but I feel like I have. So go get their products, and you know what? If you get them and you enjoy them, or you disagree with everything I just said,
Shut up out there.
oh great. Give me a ringy dingy. I'm going to create an email just for y'all.
Oh, I like a ringy dingy.
Yeah, and it's going to be catchy so you can remember it. It's jlee at olc.com. And that's Leigh. JLEIGH at, no, OLC at gmail.com.
OMG.
I'll tell you next week.
Is that the one I gave you?
No,
What?
I went rogue. All right, thanks. See you next time. Bye.
Looking for a nice, relaxing adventure? Come on over to Weldon Mills Distillery in Weldon, North Carolina, where offered on the gorgeous backdrop of the Roanoke River is a fun and enjoyable experience. Come hang out for a tour and tasting of our award-winning bourbons and whiskeys. Sample exquisite gins and vodkas. Stay for some conversation and a cocktail. Open 7 days a week. For hours, new products, events, recipes, and more, follow us on Facebook at Weldon Mills Distillery. Alright, so we're back. So yeah, great product review. You've probably you've handed me how many multicolored gummies? Every time I walk in
And
the
what
house,
does he
I'm like,
do?
here's a sandwich bag full of gummies.
He don't even,
Explains a lot.
you know what I'm saying? He don't say, what is that? What flavor is it? What is it gonna do?
He don't
He's
care.
just like, okay.
I got the constitution of a heroin addict, but I'm not.
Okay, well,
boy.
congratulations.
Thank you.
That-
No, I didn't. Never was into heroin. It's not like I quit it. I never had the addiction. I don't have an addictive personality except for smokes, and
He has
it's
a
not like
spastic personality.
spastic. You mean like bouncy? I like
Ding,
it.
ding, ding, ding.
Sure. If you were a cartoon character, you would be
Dankeschön?
Tigger.
No, I wouldn't. I'd be Astro Boy. Definitely Astro
I
Boy.
can see him going.
Oh, hyper.
I know. He bounces on his tail all the time.
You should see when Lori throws me on the bed head first because she can't quite make it, and I bounce back on my ass. That's in the play. Bedroom Farce coming up. Opens April 29th. Gallery Theater, Main Street, Ahoskie. Be there or be triangular.
What
That's
he
right.
said.
All right,
He's
topic
some
girl.
geometric shape.
Yeah,
That's right.
I am geometrically pleasing to myself. So anyway,
Well,
So you were
I had to
saying-
be
he
there
is
to it.
square, that's for sure.
Oh, I got in an argument with a young employee. Not an argument. We got into a debate.
Uh-huh.
Now, if she watches this, I'm not going to say her name, but we're friends.
Yes,
Okay,
okay.
so if
I
you're
think I know
watching
who you're
this,
talking about.
you know I love you, but it was funny. She irritated me, and we started going into it, and I said, "Yeah, you're so young, it probably still smells like pee down there." She goes, yeah, you're so old, you probably blow dust. It was funny as hell.
I can see that happening.
Anywho, but
Good
what I
to
said
have
to
friends
her
like that.
after it, I said, you know what? Good for you. You're feisty, you stuck up for yourself.
Yep.
Good for her. All right, so what do we got, topic girl?
Let's see. Well,
Ways to blow off steam?
why you asked me and then say it?
What were you going to come up with? I'm just curious.
I was just
He's
gonna
fine.
say the other one first because last time we had a show, I had told you there was somewhere in the Bible where God said He wouldn't let anybody live past the age of 120.
Mm-hmm.
And you didn't remember that, so I said I
So,
could find it. So
This
go
was
ahead.
after Methuselah then.
Yes.
He made a decision,
This
no
was
more
after-
500-year-old dudes.
This is after the flood,
Mhm.
and He had let everybody out on the boat, and they had started multiplying and all of this.
Like friggin' rabbits. He's like, you know what?
Uh-huh.
He said, well, you know what? He said, I got to do something about
Well, you have to
crowd
make
control
up.
here.
You gotta replace what's
Yeah,
gone.
we got to do something about crowd control because this is going to get old crowd really
Well,
quick.
Yeah.
So I'm going to be like, I'm going to have to take a few of you out before you get to
You know, you could just let us live
Could you
longer
imagine
and make
living
our
like a
boo-hoos
half a
not work all
millennium?
the time.
I mean, that would
No.
kind of be.
Which it makes me think like, when you hit your 300, does that like middle age?
It would be kind of awesome because think about it. If like,
No, it
okay,
wouldn't.
so I was born in '73. So if I was able to live 500 years, that would put me like into the era of what Star Trek is supposed to be. I would love to see if that actually came to pass.
I would really love to live a lot longer, but not as an old, like, sick person. But
It'd be
if
like
I could live
Bicentennial Man,
longer-
start off as a robot,
If
end
you
up
could
as a
live
human.
longer as a certain age.
Yeah, I would probably
Now,
stop myself at 42. 42
That would be
is
like
the
being a
best shape of
vampire,
my
though.
life.
That'd be like being a vampire. You know, vampire. You know, they get
Hmm.
bit, they stop aging,
Right.
but they
No,
got
I
to
wouldn't
like they got to have them gangly teeth and drink blood. I don't think that would be great.
But then you got certain mentalities. You got people
And you got to
that...
live just at
And
night
they're
because the
fat
sunlight
things
would
like
burn you to death. And-
Yeah, unless you're a day walker, and then you're okay.
Day walker.
You can put it out there wherever
There's
you want.
different types of vampires.
Have you ever seen the Blade movies?
No.
He was a
Do I
mutate,
look
so
like
he
I've
was a
ever
day
Yeah,
seen
but he
Blade
aged like a
movies?
human.
Yes, yes.
So
he
that
was-
wouldn't be fun.
He was half vampire, half human.
Yeah.
Blade.
It'd be fun to be that strong.
I will say I watched this good show on Sci-Fi Channel. I couldn't tell you the name of it, but one guy was a werewolf, and he had a roommate who was a vampire, and
Oh.
he had another roommate
Yeah.
who was a witch.
Yeah.
Oh, I watched
remember-
that
I
for
saw
a
that.
year.
Or no, she was dead. She was a ghost.
She
Yeah,
was a
she was a
ghost.
ghost.
Yeah, she
And
was
they
a
were all
ghost.
in college.
Yeah.
Human.
You're almost there. I know the show. I can't remember. It was the guy, had the weird face. He was a vampire.
Yeah, he looked dark and broody.
Yes, and yeah, I wish it
That
was a
was
decent
actually
show.
good, yeah, because she couldn't leave the house. She
Right.
died in the house and couldn't leave the house,
So,
and they became
What was that
roommates
called?
in the house.
Then it
so
got
I'm gonna
full.
say
Being
this:
human.
if I had to be a vampire,
Yeah, girl.
I wouldn't
Topic
want to
girl.
be the twilight, sparkling sunlight vampire. I wouldn't want to be that.
Oh, but you would be.
No.
Have you seen What We Do in the Shadows?
What, you and Dale?
No. I
Do you
didn't
leave
ask-
enough light
I
on?
didn't ask, have you seen us?
Oh. What? I'm watching Jack Ryan series. Greg, is his name Greg Kaczynski from The Office? Kaczynski. I
Not
didn't watch.
Ted Kaczynski.
I didn't watch The Office, but the young tall
John
guy, John
Krasinski.
Krasinski. Let me tell you
Bruh.
something. He grew up, got big, and learned how to act. He's amazing in that. He's really good in that. I enjoy the show. So there you go. 2 thumbs up on Jack Ryan series, available on Amazon Prime. Woohoo!
Ooh,
Anyway,
very
so
good,
what
very
were we
good.
saying?
So anyways, the verse in the Bible that says
Oh.
that, I took it from Contemporary English Version because I can't read King James. It's just, my mind's not wired. that
Ye
way.
and thou
So,
and shall.
Genesis 6:3. Then the Lord said, I won't let my life-giving breath remain in anyone forever. No one will live for more than 120 years.
Then there it is.
And
One of the biggest reasons why I don't believe in organized religion or the Bible, not saying I don't believe in God, but I don't believe in this way because there's already a contradiction. When did Moses live?
I don't.
Come on, what
Back
book of
in-
the Bible? Was it Leviticus,
Come on.
Deuteronomy? It doesn't matter. It wasn't Genesis 6:3. So he already broke his word. Done. Woohoo!
We gonna have words.
You can have all the words you want. I've read the Bible. I'm very highly versed
You
on
didn't know about that
Christianity.
one until I told you.
I don't have it memorized.
Then go back. Do it again.
Why? Did you have it memorized?
No.
All right then.
I don't even have my lines for the play.
Shall we ask Google how old Moses?
Yeah, because nobody gives a shit.
No, because I'm mad.
I was just gonna find out how old Moses was.
So, hey, speaking of mad,
Well, it wasn't Moses. Methuselah was the 500-year-old man.
Yeah, but that was before.
Was it before Genesis? All right,
Yes.
look it up. Look up when Methuselah was first mentioned in the book in
can
the
you
Bible.
spell that?
He just has to get close. It's
Yes,
METH.
just has to get close.
All
Alright, so it's been. Life has
Hey,
been.
Google. What
Oh!
book of the Bible had
We
Methuselah
should
in it?
include Hey Alexa in our shows. We plug it in here because Hey Google sucks, but
It
Hey
didn't
Alexa works perfectly. I put it in my radio shows where if I'm like, Hey Alexa, what is blah
They
blah
don't
blah.
want to talk
Some-
to me.
So we're gonna bring Hey Alexa in. Remember we tried that? It was funny.
Yeah.
Okay.
We should do it. All right. So anyway, what are we talking about?
It's real stressful in the world these days. Job, money,
Sex,
economy,
checks and
lack of
balances,
sex,
lap dances, lack of,
lots of stuff,
Mhm.
split ends.
good weed.
You
Yeah.
know.
Mhm.
So I thought maybe we could share some ways we like to blow off steam to kind of get your head back in.
All right. I will be real during this. I won't be my idiotic self. I blow off steam by working out.
Yeah, that's
I
great.
like to write. Like I'm on radio doesn't vent me. But when I sit down and I got something on my mind, I'm a really good writer when I need to be, and that's how I vent. I vent through writing.
Okay.
And comedy. I do comedy. It unleashes. They say a lot of comedians have a sadness to them.
Right.
And they're not wrong. They're not wrong. How about you, big boy?
Well, let's see. If we are talking about the difference in like going out and having fun and then what actually you use to vent and blow off steam. Okay, so
We're not talking about Whack It Wednesdays. That goes without saying. Or Thursday for you. I don't know. Well, go on.
dear God. So, I mean, it seems like that we've got a difference here. So I've got to think about this for just a moment.
For me,
All
but I'm
right.
not buzzed.
So, of course, in the summertime, spending time on the water in my boat is a fun way to alleviate stress.
Uh-huh.
During the wintertime, though, what do? I mean, well, for one, I'm working 7 days a week, but I can say that my second job, actually, I help relieve stress.
It does. It does. We
I-
have the same job.
Yeah,
Part-time job.
and working at Weldon Mills.
It's
and
fun as hell.
It is, because you get to meet a lot of interesting people.
You get to socialize. Like me. I don't know about you, but on your job, do you socialize a lot or are you by yourself a lot?
In my job,
And the Red Bull has kicked in.
true.
No, it hasn't.
In my day job, my usual career, I've got a lot on my mind at any given time, and it's not a lot of time to socialize. And there's people there, but there are times when we can joke and carry on with each other.
Mm-hmm.
But you really got to be focused. You've got to really be on point. It can be stressful at times. It's intense. So
Yeah, but my
got
life
a lot
is,
going on.
what's happening is all about being by myself because I'm
Right.
mostly production. I don't talk to anybody at all, and there's days I don't have a conversation. So when I go do my part-time job to get out of the house, Weldon Mills Distillery, Weldon, North Carolina, wee baby, I enjoy it.
That's
I
right.
mean, a lot of people have fun. I get to entertain.
You do.
All right, so we'll be right back.
Team.
Trip Grimsley here from Tag and Mix Suspension and Liquid Skins Designs. If you're looking for some good quality dirt bike graphics for your dirt bike, go online to liquidskinsdesign.com. Liquid Skins Design Co. is the graphics department for Tag and Mix Sports. We ourselves specialize in custom bike graphics and decals. If you don't see a template online that fits your needs, there's no worries. We will design it for you, especially just for you. Any size and any color, and we ship it to anywhere around the world. We offer the hottest custom graphics for your dirt bike. Customize your dirt bike graphics online at liquidskinsdesign.com or check us out on Facebook or Instagram at liquidskinsdesignco.com.
All right, so we're back.
You blew off steam.
Yeah, I blew off steam.
But you almost blew that glass right off the table.
I can't be responsible for inanimate objects. See, it's made of live atoms. Why isn't it cooperating with us? I can't stand inanimate objects.
Gentle Timothy.
Gentle Timothy. I was named after a timid little wimpy boy from the Bible,
Be
but I am far from it.
gentlemanly like Tony.
Oh, can I get that for you?
Oh.
No, it was more like the guy in the Charles Dickens classic. Tiny Tim.
Oh, he said Dickens.
God blesses everyone.
Hey, God blesses everyone. It's the Dickens in me. I had a Dickens in me last night. Alright, anyway, what was I saying?
Down the gutter.
Yeah, as long as it's not the rabbit hole.
Exactly.
Bats. Okay, I'll give you that.
Alright, topic girl, what do we got?
Topic girl. So, firing squad executions have now been green-lighted in South Carolina.
Bang bang.
Bang
It
bang!
has only been the electric chair for the past 10 years because South Carolina hasn't been able to procure lethal injection drugs.
All right.
They didn't elaborate on that, so I don't know what
What
that
are they?
means. But
Like
now
morons down
you
there?
you get your choice: firing squad or electric chair.
Wow, wow,
So,
wow. I
the
go fire squad.
Well, the thing is,
They say it's more humane.
I want to die by a bullet anyway.
I mean, if you think about the way this thing is working out, okay, so lethal injection, pretty much, they came up with that so that they could basically put somebody to sleep.
Humanely.
Humanely, okay? All right, there's always been a lot of debate here because they say, well, what about how they treated their victims when they perpetrated this heinous crime that led to them being on death row? All right, well, the thing is the firing squad. So what you've got to look at several different things when it comes to execution. So let's talk about lethal injection for just a moment. Lethal injection.
Just a moment.
Lethal injection
Let's
requires the fact that you've got paramedics that have to volunteer so that they can actually push these drugs into the vein. All right, so that means
Volunteer.
Yeah, well, you can't just say, okay, you're killing this guy tonight.
It's usually your Relay for Life people during the off season.
But a human touch is needed to make sure that they push this stuff intravenously.
You're terrible.
Now, when it comes down to firing squad, so what they've done is so that they're going to fire multiple bullets at a target pinned on the intended victim's chest. There's supposed to be one gun with a blank. Okay, we've covered that one tonight. So that nobody knows who really fired the fatal shots. And then when it comes down to the electric chair, it's not like you see in the movies where you see some guy there with a big rubber glove that pulls a switch. That's not that at all. The electric chair actually has a system of relays, and there are 3 switches where you have the warden, you have the lead executioner, and you have one other guy that they push these things simultaneously.
The other guy's called Sammy.
And they push these switches, and nobody knows who actually was the one who delivered
In case of
the
retaliation.
juice. So that it's supposed to be to lessen the moral
I
conflict
got you.
of being the one who pulled the switch.
Look, we can make it easy. If the guy did a horrible crime like dismembered a family, okay, electric chair him, let his eyeball fall out, let him poop himself while he's dying, let his tongue catch on fire and be charred mess. If somebody, in some kind of maybe gang shootout, let him get the firing squad. Bullet meets bullet. However, if somebody, smothered their cheating wife with a pillow, give them the lethal injection.
Well, I think if the person is punished by receiving the same crime they perpetrated, there would be a lot less crime.
It would be, because what about a stabbing chow?
What if I killed somebody by tickling them so much they had a heart attack? But I'm not ticklish. Na boo boo. That's how you get away with murder.
There's always going to be the debate over capital punishment, and is it necessary? Has it deterred crime?
I'd let the victim's family choose.
That would be probably...
Let them even do it if they want to. Because I got news for you. If somebody hurt one of those boys that I love so much, and they got off in court, I'd kill that person anyway. Just is what it is. So, if something happened to those boys and I was given the opportunity to take out the person in some kind of way that suited what they did to those boys, I would enjoy it immensely. God, I just got warm and I think my left one just popped out. God, yeah, Ramon.
And that's how you gross people out.
All right, so you know what? I know we're running low on time before the next segment. I was up at King's Coffee a couple weeks back and I saw, it is funny, I didn't notice it was them. It didn't dawn on me. I just saw a new band, Twins and Friends. I just got off work, so I hightailed it back from Weldon Mills, got into King's Coffee, and I'm looking at this petite young lady belting out some rock and blues. And I'm
Nice.
and I look over, I'm like, holy shit, that's Jamarcus, the guitar player. Oh, there's the bass player. Oh, wait a minute, what happened? So I got the inside scoop, but this is a new band. In fact, they were so nervous about playing that until they got comfortable, she was singing low, but when she got comfortable, she belted it out.
Nice.
And Jamarcus, who's not used to singing a lead, he's the guitar player, always behind Dion in New Band on the Block. He was so scared singing this song. And I told him after that, I said, listen, you guys are doing great, you just gotta relax. They went off their playlist, I think. I think they started playing what they think the audience wanted. And you can't go out there and look at the faces and think you know what we want.
Right.
Because we were digging the rock and blues.
All right.
We're cool with it. R&B, rock, blues, you can't judge by the faces in the audience. So when they played what they were comfortable with, what they want to do, probably where their originals are going to lead them to, they were kick-ass.
You could tell they switched over.
So here we go. Without further ado, we got a 7-minute clip of a performance by Twins and Friends from King's Coffee right here on Main Street in the borough.
That way.
And turn the lights down low. Put some music on soft. Baby, we ain't got no place to go. doors and turn the lights down low. Put some music on the song. I can't believe how much it turns me on just to be your man. Tree, sing a little one.
Alright, so we're back. So, twins and friends, you can always keep up to date with what's happening in entertainment on Facebook, minds.com, MeWe, I Dominate, Rumble, you name it.
Does it sound like he's speaking a different language?
Yeah.
Okay.
By the way, folks, I really thought that MeWe would be the alternative to Facebook, and even though that it's a good platform, it's an excellent platform, people are not migrating there. I stumbled across a social media platform that's got a very completely different look, but they are excellent.
You're making me nervous.
And she's also a resident housekeeper. And
That's me.
So it's called minds.com, and I put what's happening on there a week ago, and I think I've got more views on the few posts in a week than I had on me all together in a year and a half. So you might want to give it a look as far as a replacement for Facebook. Do the right thing. Get off Facebook.
It's called what?
Minds, MINDS.com. And I like it. They're not trying to duplicate Facebook. They've got their own color.
So they're web-based, they don't have an app.
They have an app.
Okay.
Yep, no, they were very complete. I mean, I turned Deborah onto it for DIY gardens, where she went on MeWe and she has 50,000 followers. We have 148. So obviously MeWe's more towards home, garden, whatever.
Right.
Where Minds is taken off, and it's also taken off for her as well. So.
Great.
All right, so what we're talking what?
Well, it's not lighthearted.
Oh, good. I don't like lighthearted. I like lightly farting, but nothing lighthearted.
This is a
I'm glad he's
sports.
not doing that.
I will do it if you want to ask me to.
No.
I'll do the Putin. The Vladimir Putin. All right, so NFL being morally bankrupt.
Yes.
Yes, it started about 15 years ago when they let criminals play the game without any accountability. You know, when you pay players $200 million for 4 years, guess who's affected by that? The people that watch the TV, that get the NFL ticket, that buy the jerseys, want to buy the baseball cap, people that save all year long to get their favorite team jacket. You know, Aaron Rodgers just became the first $1 million man for one season. One season, $50 million. Now, as much as I like Aaron Rodgers, it's ridiculous. It's just ridiculous. You say, well, you know, he's risking, injury, blah, blah, blah. I risk injury for free going on a ladder on the roof.
We risk injury every day.
Yes.
Going to our
Or
usual
over
jobs.
40 and getting out of bed is a chore.
Well, the thing is in my usual day job, I handle one of the most dangerous compounds known to mankind.
Marijuana.
No.
Oh, darn it.
But it is.
Artichoke dip.
Especially after your eye.
Oh,
Give me some of that artichoke dip.
no, but anyway, it's deadly toxic, and I have to be around it, and I have to know how to handle it. So anything can happen. I mean, you can't even breathe this stuff. So for this guy who chose to go out there and said, you know what, I know that I'm going to have a 300-pound linebacker plow into me and possibly break my legs out from under me, he made that choice. But yet here he is getting millions of dollars, and I'm lucky every year to get 1/10 of $1 million.
I mean, don't get us wrong. I mean, the man is the top of his game in his position. He does deserve. But when you keep paying more and more, I mean, over the last 10 years, the NFL salaries have gone ridiculous. And they're not even the highest paid sports. They're third behind basketball and baseball. I mean, that's even ridiculous
It's
too.
because you still got so many people that want to go watch these people do their job.
But that's not the problem.
Do people come here work and watch you work?
No, thank the Lord. That's not the problem. The problem is they continue to support these people, players, and perpetuate their lifestyle by turning a blind eye on all this crime and these horrible acts that they're committed. It's like Harvey Weinstein. If you surround yourself with people who are going to do nothing but support you and encourage you and not be honest and hold you accountable and make you feel like you're untouchable, you're going to act untouchable.
True. Just like Epstein.
So I made a list of some of the worst offenders in NFL
Now, before you start the
history.
list, let me say something. I have a motto, okay, and it is this. And I know I have 672,000 mottos. I can't help it. I've been around on this earth longer than these
So many
two. So you
t-shirts.
can-
672,000.
So many t-shirts.
You sure that's not like 498 only in the
Well,
back?
what I'm about to say has probably been on a t-shirt and on a bumper sticker, but it's very apropos. And I'm not trying to offend anybody here, but there's a saying, you can take them out of the ghetto, but you can't take the ghetto out of them. And the reason I say that is because these $1 million players keep reverting back to their old ways. I mean, heck, you're a $1 million player and you're doing an armed robbery. You're a $1 million player and you're doing a shooting in a strip club.
Right.
Aaron Hernandez was one of the top short tight ends ever to play the game. He would have been a superstar. And he's involved in a gang murder.
Right.
You know, and then where do you draw the line? These people that are abusing women and accused of rape, I mean, everything. And it's
My
not
question is, why are they not in jail?
I mean, like Ben Roethlisberger, white guy. Ray Rice, black guy. It doesn't matter what color you are.
No, and it's just you're an NFL player.
Right.
That's the only criteria.
But then you have people like, well, Peyton Manning. You know, 20 years in the NFL, and you're not going to find anything. Pure gentleman, respects his country, loves his country.
And so he earns his money.
He does. He
But
earns his money.
you know, you get these young kids fresh out of college, and you throw all this money at them.
Most of them don't even
They
have
don't
a
know
high school
how to
diploma.
do-
They don't even
They
know
don't
how
know
to
how to
read.
manage that fame
Nope.
and that wealth
Nope.
that's instant.
Mhm.
True.
And so, you
And
know,
it
of course things
alters
are going to
their
go to pot.
personality.
And they just passed a
Sure.
law allowing college players to be paid by sponsors.
Awesome.
Before it was illegal. Now it's just going to perpetuate it.
Yep.
So, you know,
And that's
okay,
one of the problems.
you're getting a
wrong with
Lamborghini
colleges.
and you're 20 and you're a
Yeah.
sophomore in college.
And you didn't have to do anything but
Now it's expected. Well, I get a Lamborghini in
But-
college. I want
but here
50
they
million.
are. They're gonna pay college athletes who basically are skinning by. They're not taking any kind of important major or anything like that. Now, we could go down through we could make a whole show about college education being overrated and people who
I
work,
won't even hire a college grad.
being
So if you're
Yeah.
a college grad, don't come to me.
being the underdogs who are not given the credit. So the thing is why when it costs so much to go to college, particularly when they pay a college football coach, oh good Lord, it's an unreasonable amount of money. They focus so much on athletics instead of academics, and they make academics unaffordable for people who really need to go there, and that incur all this debt just to get a real
it's
education.
greed.
Well, I
It
got a
is.
true story for you guys that involves Chowan University. Back about 4 years ago, there was a family that kept staying at our house. Their son was on the football team. So we
Okay.
got to know them almost all year except for senior year because the pandemic happened. So we knew him and the family from freshman, sophomore, and junior year.
Wow.
So he was on the football team, and I remember them coming back and saying that there was a big fight. The benches cleared. The visiting team that was from Virginia State something, wasn't Virginia State. It was a smaller college because we're a smaller college.
Right.
They were so aggressive, rude to our players that they almost had a riot. Unfortunately, it was cold down. So it caused me, who was writing for the newspaper at the time, to look into it a little bit. I looked up this running back. He had a rap sheet going back to even just the prior year where he was arrested for attempted murder. This is a violent gangbanger who is allowed to go to school and playing against our children here in Chowan because he's good. No thanks. Scrap all colleges. Higher education needs to be flushed and given an enema. Do away with it. Bring back apprentice. Bring back vocational training. That's what people need. If you want to be a doctor, apprenticeship. I'd rather have a doctor that was 4 years working under a knife with a surgeon than some lunatic with pimples reading a book.
I agree, because a lot of times, in fact, I know somebody who works in the medical field, and she'll tell you that her schooling was a joke.
Mm-hmm.
She heard it mostly through a speaker and not even in real time.
So you cut the aorta here,
So
and then you.
how does that work out? And they don't give credit to like trade schools, vocational and trade schools.
Yep.
And they don't even give credit to people like me. Yeah, I went through some community college through trade. I don't have a diploma, but most of my experience comes from a lifetime of work. But yet here I am now, I'm having to deal with almost having to answer to these 20-something-year-olds who, well, they graduated college and they know nothing. Nothing.
We're okay. It's the last segment. I'm not worried about time. I'm not going to name names, but it was a friend of mine who recently retired from local bank president. I loved her. Great person. Every time I went in the bank, I would sit and talk to her and all that stuff. We got talking about the topic of college graduates and how their bank would only hire people with a college graduate as a college, for the upper positions.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm like, why? Because they're promotable, she said. I said, so they're promotable while somebody that's been working with you 20 years knows every aspect of this job. They're not promotable, but this moron with a degree did is promotable. See, that's what started 20 years ago. That's why you have all these idiotic liberals in charge of major companies.
True.
Because they were hired over somebody that paid their dues and really knows how to do the job.
True.
Teresa, for instance, an industrial supply company, she had to train these pimple-faced kids to be her boss because she wouldn't get hired up the ladder because she wasn't promotable, because she didn't have a degree. I won't hire you if you have a degree.
Well, I can
Too
tell
much crap comes
I
up.
can tell you what it's come down to in two things. All right, number one, you got these days in most companies, you got a bunch of trust fund babies
I'm a trust fund
babies playing executive, and then underneath them, you got frat boys playing manager.
And by the way, this is a Red Bull. It just happens to look like one. But if Red Bull, if you're watching and you'd like to be a sponsor, give me a call.
He'll be up.
Oh, he will.
All right, we are out of time. I enjoyed today's show greatly. Now, we will not be producing another Our Little Corner probably for another month because we have a play to get over the hurdle with at the Gallery Theater.
Yes.
But we will, as far as what's happening in entertainment radio, we'll have random music and we'll have all kinds of shows coming at you. The magazine will be updated. We're just taking a break.
Only because we have to, but we will be.
Good. My pants.
He probably conducts static electricity pretty good.
Fine. This is straight. All right. So what I'm thinking is, guys, we do
Drinks have got me
10,
got
20,
my
30.
buzz going because I hadn't eaten in a while.
Oh gosh, you need something to eat before you go home?
No, look,
You
I
gonna be
live.
okay to go home?
Oh, yeah, I live right
All right,
over
so
there, like 2 blocks.
No, but
Dankesuper.
Hell, I might go home and fix some more to drink.
well, there you go.
All right, so anyway.
Did we have to see that?
No, but it's going to be on the blooper reel I've been collecting.
Oh my God.
Say goodbye to these.
What I'm thinking.